Hi, good morning, America. Good afternoon, Europe, Africa, and good evening, Asia and Australasia. Welcome to the ISRT Facebook Live on a very, very special day for our profession, World Radiography Day. And today we celebrate a very important day for our profession, World Radiography Day. And then the theme for this year, World Radiography, is on AI. And the Facebook Live topic for today will be on artificial intelligence in radiography practice, international perspective. Why we are doing this? We know that artificial intelligence has been progressively involved with radiology and radiography practice, and the profession needs to be ready for the changes in the practice with AI. That's why we would like to hear the current situation and challenges from our colleagues from all around the world with this issue. And today we have three speakers from across the world with one of the special guests from our ISRT board. I will introduce the speaker one by one, but from now I would like to invite Madam President Donna Newman to give an opening speech for this special event.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my fellow radiographers from around the world. I want to wish you all a happy World Radiography Day, and I hope that each of you are taking some time to celebrate yourself because you're very important to our patients as frontline healthcare workers. But I also hope that you're taking time to actually do some public awareness and help the people from around the world, our patients, our fellow professionals that work with us in the hospital, to let them know about radiation protection and radiation safety, and also about the radiographer's role in elevating patient care for our patients through AI. So please take this time to actually help us educate the public and our patients around the world, and please take time to celebrate yourself. I'm excited for our speakers today. Thank you each for taking time to share your expertise with us, and I look forward to the program. Back to you, Napa.
Thank you, Donna. Let me introduce our first speaker. We are so excited to have Ryan van der Venter. And Ryan is Associate Lecturer in Diagnostic Radiography at Nelson Mandela University in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. And he's also CPD representative and president-elect of the Society of Radiographers of South Africa. So Ryan will share with us his perspective on artificial intelligence in radiography practice. Please welcome Ryan van der Venter.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, colleagues across the world, depending on your time zone. I'm Ryan van der Venter, representing the Society of Radiographers of South Africa. Firstly, I would like to thank the ISRT for having our society represented on this platform and for having me share my thoughts on how I believe artificial intelligence may impact our radiographic practice in the near future. The fourth industrial revolution is on our doorstep, and so is AI. We cannot evade it. Inevitably, our practice will differ from what we currently have. We may be unaware, and some may be aware, that we are exposed to AI on a daily. Think of your Facebook timeline. Think of your feeds on Twitter. Think on the hits that you get when you search for something on Google. Think of the ads that come onto your timeline on Facebook. Think of the operations of our digital imaging systems that we use in medical imaging currently. All of these, in some way or another, are influenced by certain AI algorithms. So I'm greeting you from South Africa, from my hometown, Port Elizabeth. And before I share my thoughts on how I believe AI will influence and augment our role, I would like to create some context of the status of AI in South Africa at present. We have no approved policies on AI currently, but SORSA is in the process of developing its own position statement. AI awareness, however, have increased over time by creating this awareness through congresses, symposia, directed reading programs, and even universities having or starting to include it in student training as to sensitize these students to what AI entails, the uses thereof, and the impact it can have on the radiography profession. I don't see AI as a replacement, but I see it as another team member to help us make better decisions for the benefit of our patients. I therefore believe that it will enhance our efficiency because AI, from the sources and literature out there, we can see that it can provide us with information that was previously not readily available or became available through great effort. But if we have this in a short amount of time, we can assist our patients in a more timely manner and therefore improve patient outcomes. So change is coming and it will impact our role in practice. I think it will impact our role in 4 categories or places or areas fundamentally. Firstly, I think justification optimization can be enhanced in terms of implementation, where, for example, we can have certain algorithms that can assist us with dose protocols to ensure that the patient gets the least amount of dose for a specific examination without reducing the diagnostic quality of that procedure. It can also augment the imaging techniques we use. And all of this can also help us to then make better decisions. Because like I said, AI can assist us and give us some information faster than before, which therefore informs decisions we make about patient management and care. I also believe that it will bring different professionals from different disciplines closer together to have a true multidisciplinary team approach, and therefore achieving the ideal that we are striving for, i.e., patient-centered care. On that note, I also then think closer to patient-centered care, the radiographer-patient interactions will increase, where there's more human-to-human interactions and a lesser stance of distancing ourselves from our patients by focusing on the technology only. It will also change the information we gather from our patients and the information we give to our patients to assist us to address their needs more appropriately. But with all of this, I also think ethical and legal frameworks guiding our practice will change, especially in terms of data security, requirements in relation to informed consent as to what we are supposed to tell our patients in terms of what will happen to their data, how it will be stored, and how we can ensure confidentiality and privacy. To this extent, I think the future of our profession will change educationally and clinically. We will need to educate our professionals differently for them to perform at an optimal level within this new domain of practice that is going to come within diagnostic radiography. I think our professionals will have to be introduced to the fundamentals of computer science, statistics, how algorithms are developed and how they operate, the uses of AI, machine learning, and deep learning in medical imaging, data mining and management, especially big data, bigger databases. The adequate and appropriate security measures that will be required to ensure that there will not be a breach of patient privacy or confidentiality. We will have to focus more on interpersonal skills like emotional intelligence, creative thinking, problem solving, and innovation because of the increased human-to-human interactions. And secondly, to manage the complex scenarios that may exist due to the implementation of AI in practice. And then lastly, professionals will also have to be informed and taught about the new legislative and ethical norms for an AI diagnostic radiography department. Clinically, the workflow will change, and our role within this broader framework of doing our work will also therefore change. I think our decision making and clinical reasoning will be data driven. Like I said, there will be greater patient interactions and perhaps less procedural tasks, since AI may take over the everyday smaller administrative tasks on our behalf. Confidentiality and informed consent. There will be a need for greater emphasis on this to ensure that our patients are well informed, that they can trust us and the system to be sure that the data that is gathered is safe. And we will have to implement continuous quality improvements through audits to ensure that the AI algorithms are accurate at all times, so as to not create biases or negatively impact our decisions that we make regarding our patient. But with that being said, it's not an easy road ahead because context-specific challenges and barriers that we may face may ultimately influence how we can implement this new technology within our workflow. And I therefore believe the road ahead is still long, but we have to adapt and prepare for what is coming. There should also be clear policies and standard operating procedures then in place to ensure that AI is standardized in terms of its implementation and that the benefits outweigh the potential risks that is associated with it, and that this can become a supportive yet sustainable tool to enhance patient care and management in the long term. Thank you for listening.
Sorry. Oops. Thank you, Ryan, for your presentation. Sorry for my technical difficulty, just a little bit. And that's the view from our colleague from South Africa. We also have the colleague from Asia, which is Professor Naoki Kodama. He is our ISRT regional coordinator for professional practice. Dr. Naoki Kodama is a professor of the Department of Radiological Technology, Faculty of Medical Technology at Niigata University of Health and Welfare in Niigata City in Japan. And Professor Kodama will share with us his view and also the Japanese view on this artificial intelligence in radiography practice. Please welcome Professor Kodama.
My name is Naoki Kodama, and I'm Professor of Department of Radiological Technology, Niigata University of Health and Welfare, Japan. And I am the Vice President of the Japan Association of Radiological Technologists, JART. Thanks to International Society of Radiographers and Radiological Technologists, ISRRT, for this opportunity. I want to talk about radiological technologies and medical artificial intelligence. First, I introduce of JART. In Japan, about 55,000 radiological technologists work at hospital or clinic. About 32,000 radiological technologists are members of JART. About 15,000 members participate in continuing education system of JART every year. We are a public interest incorporated association under the Ministry of Health, Labor and Welfare, with the purpose of contributing to the health of citizens through raising the professional ethics of members, improving and furthering the study of radiological technology. The task of radiological technologists is wide in Japan. Radiological technologists can perform not only diagnostic imaging, but also nuclear medicine and radiation therapy. Recently, radiation management and safety management have also become important tasks in Japan. Medical AI is used in many medical fields. For example, genomics, drug discovery, imaging examination, diagnosis, treatment, etc. In the future, medical AI will also be available for improving workflow, patient description, counseling on exposure, reduction of exposure dose, and patient safety. In recent years, many medical AI startup companies have expanded their business. Each company in the map has raised at least over 10 million US dollars funding round since 2018. Last year, American Society of Radiological Technologists, ASRT, conducted a survey on artificial intelligence. According to this survey, asked how much they trust AI and machine learning features at work. Respondents were what might be described as cautiously trusting, while only 1.8% say they trust those features completely. About 31% trust them a great deal and another 52% trust they somewhat. Only 50% say that trust AI features very little or not at all. AI and machine learning are considered to be useful for motion artifact recognition, radiation exposure, consistency of scan and treatments, quality of scan and treatments, workflow, accuracy of patient positioning, and safety. About 83% of radiological technologists do not completely believe or distrust AI and machine learning. The current AI is not perfect. It is risky to rely too much. So it is a sound idea. Education about AI will be needed in the future. Patients feel uneasy about leaving everything to AI. Therefore, the relationship between patients and medical staffs is still necessary. Maybe this relationship does not change. It is important for radiological technologists to be knowledgeable enough to explain the benefit and risk of AI to patients. According Healthcare Industry Advisory Council Corporated Roundtable Subcommittee on Artificial Intelligence, in this survey, 30.8% of respondents believed AI would have a negative effect on patient interaction. Patients have clearly stated they will not accept human-free medical care. However, patients must trust the humans who oversee AI equipment. It is critical that radiological technologists, radiation therapists, and all members of the care team follow ethical approach to AI so they can be transparent about the benefit and potential risk of AI technology. Being transparent also requires having the knowledge to explain the tool to patients. An average of 24% of respondents believe AI and machine learning features would reduce their load, and slightly more than 31% believe the technology would reduce the role of the profession in general. By accepting AI support, we may have more time to improve the patient explanations, responses, and exposure management. An average of 31% said automation from AI and machine learning would reduce their staffing level, and 38% believe the technology would reduce staffing levels for the profession. A plurality does not expect AI will change staffing level in the profession. Japanese radiological technologists also use some medical AI. Medical AI may also prevent and reduce re-imaging and patient exposure dose. In addition, medical AI can be used to educate radiological technologists. It is possible to learn normal and typical abnormal findings, distinguish imaging findings that require an emergency response, and improve image analysis and evaluation. Furthermore, it is possible to improve the imaging technology to provide higher quality medical imaging, reduce patient exposure dose due to the difference in imaging procedure, and perform more effective dose management and dose evaluation in cancer treatment. The method also improves the imaging capturing ability of radiological technologists and provide high-quality images that can contribute to early nodule and tuberculosis diagnosis. In addition, identification of abnormal findings at the time of imaging by radiological technologists may allow them to suggest additional image to doctors or examination with another modality, while the patient is at the hospital without returning home. This method is also expected to allow diagnosis and treatment. On the left is chest radiography, show a detection of a lung field defect. The right is knee radiography, and it is imaging failure. The pink mark is the judgment area. In the future, medical AI will be useful for the education of radiological technologists, and radiological technologists will need knowledge to use medical AI. Black box is a high diagnostic result, but the reason cannot be clearly stated. This cannot be fully explained to the patient. Radiological technologists need to deepen its understanding of the characteristic of AI and use it correctly. Explainable AI research is increasing. Medical AI needs a convincing explanation for the patient. It is a summary. Radiological technologists need to understand and use AI correctly. Radiological technologists do not lose their jobs due to AI. Rather, it is an opportunity to take on a new role. The benefits and the risk of AI must be properly understood and explained to patients. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Kodama, for your very, very interesting talk, including the data that you show us. We will get back to you during the Q&A session. For the audience from home, if you have any questions for the speakers or for the ISRT regarding this artificial intelligence issue, please feel free to type the question. It's going to be either on the comment box. It's going to be either underneath the screen or on the right-hand side. And now let me introduce our third speaker for today's program. We are honored also to have Dr. Christina Malametinho, and she is the Program Director, Postgraduate Thought and Research, MRI, Division of Midwifery and Radiography, City University of London from United Kingdom. And now is your time, Christina.
Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Christina Malametinho, and I'm delighted to present my topic, Artificial Intelligence in Radiography Practice, the European Perspective, which I have co-authored with Dr. Tracy O'Regan in our work together at the Artificial Intelligence Working Group for the Society and College of Radiographers. I'm also the Director of Postgraduate Program Thought and Research at City University of London. And I would like to thank very much the ISRT, the President Donna Newman, as well as the CEO, Mr. Dimitris Katsivarakis, for inviting me to present today. My sincerest acknowledgements also go to Dr. Rachel Harris, Mrs. Charlotte Birdmore, and Mr. Richard Evans, who have shared material for this slide. The impact of AI on healthcare professions is massive, and artificial intelligence has a direct impact on all healthcare professions, particularly so for radiography, which is one of the most technology-enabled professions in healthcare. Current practice and experiments show that the educator's role is crucial to a smooth and good AI integration in clinical practice in radiography. The result of AI being integrated in healthcare will not be to replace the practitioners, but it will be to augment many practitioner roles, including radiographers, and create a range of new roles in data science and beyond. Ultimately, everything happens with the patients in mind and with the overarching aim of improving the quality, efficiency, and safety of clinical practice in radiography and other healthcare professions. The start of something really big like AI has happened many years ago. About 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago, AI was still here. The World War II has created the need for decoding of communications. Therefore, Alan Turing created the Enigma machine in Bletchley Park. And this has saved the lives of many people, where the war has ended quicker than before, than what was expected. Every crisis, whether you call it war, whether you call it a pandemic, boosts innovations in healthcare, innovations in the technological fields. A bit like now with COVID-19. So since that time of AI, the early time of AI, and before the plateau of the 80s and 90s in artificial intelligence, different developments in different fields have ensured that they have accelerated the integration of artificial intelligence in healthcare and medical imaging. And these include research in neuroscience and computing, including an advancing understanding of how the brain develops, works, and accumulates knowledge, which has helped create the basis and principles of deep learning, the latest revolution in artificial intelligence. Also, the computational power has developed so much with higher processing speeds and higher capacity of data analysis that has brought AI on the front line of clinical practice. Finally, the revolution of digitalization of healthcare and the availability and increasing big data production in medical imaging means that AI has clearly a role in ensuring all of that data can be used in a way that is useful and clinically meaningful for our patients. In terms of data explosion, some of the details that Charlotte Bergman shared with me from one of her previous presentations, 90% of the world's data appeared in the last 2 years, with 15.3 zettabytes data per year being produced. There is also the knowledge that an average hospital generates about 50 petabytes of data, or 50 million gigabytes every year, mostly from medical imaging, clinical notes, lab tests, and genomics. Yet, less than 3% of that data is ever used, presenting a real need and a real priority for meaningful, validated AI to be used for the benefit of the patients, their outcomes, and their treatments. With great power comes great responsibility. Data offers power, and unregulated, unvalidated data can be quite catastrophic. That is why it was so important to create a joint statement between the European and North American radiology societies about the ethics of artificial intelligence in radiology and medical imaging, with applications, direct applications to radiography, of course. It's really, really important to ensure that the application of AI follows clear ethical rules and regulations to ensure that it continues to be used safely and for the benefit of the patients. COVID-19 has further accelerated this production of images, particularly for the imaging that relates to the diagnosis and treatment, as well as monitoring of COVID-19 patients. There has been really innovation in areas like creation of new algorithms, ensuring faster workflows to ensure more patients could be seen. At the peak of the pandemic, there was more reporting needed. There was also, proportionately, the need to validate these new innovations and algorithmic tools and to regulate their reporting. Therefore, the scientific community has welcomed with open hands the Spirit and Consort AI guidelines for AI innovation reporting, which were published in 3 different journals at the same time, a first for a publication of this nature. It has also brought the application of AI on the front line, so the clinical application of AI on the front line to help with COVID-19 diagnosis, and also has brought our profession on the front line because of that reason. A recent paper has been published in Radiography about COVID-19 in the radiology departments and what radiographers need to know in relation to this explosion of data from different image modalities because of COVID-19. Applications in AI excluding COVID-19 have already exploded in the last 5 years. And as you can see, there is an exponential growth of the publications in AI in this area since 2010, with the last few years being really increased. AI can have diverse roles in radiography, and we need to think about radiography as reporting roles, which are more aligned to radiologist roles, but also the full range of operational roles, including the vetting of the examination, the protocol selection, the patient preparation, the acquisition techniques and optimization, as well as post-processing, to a full integration of the diagnostic imaging data for a holistic radiomic analysis for the patients, as published by previous work of radiographer colleagues, Professor Marianne Hardy and Professor Sarah Lewis, in the respective publications you can see here. There is also a diversity as to how AI impacts medical imaging by modality, with cross-sectional imaging, ultrasound and X-ray being the top ones in this list, and also brain, cell, lung and breast topping the list of the classifications by organ in terms of the applications of AI and deep learning in medical imaging. There has been a lot of discussion, many publications in the field of radiology written by radiologists, and only recently we have managed to shift the discussions to radiography. So more papers like the one you can see here will be starting to mentioning, as they do, impacts, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats for artificial intelligence in radiography practice. And there are more coming out now in the last few months. The Society and College of Radiographers has immediately prioritized the local implementation of the principles of the Topol Review about training the workforce to the new AI technologies. It has also created a specialist AI working group for radiography to ensure that we understand the depth and the scope of AI in clinical practice, in education, in research, as well as establishing initiatives where radiographers can become more visible in industrial partners and work with them to co-design innovation. The Society and College of Radiographers has also published a national AI policy document, has contributed to the AI educational priorities in the ISRRT World Radiography Day publication, you can find here today. It contributes and continues to contribute to current educational and dissemination events, including publications as well as conferences. Participates to the NHS AI Lab, represented by Dr. Tracy O'Regan, and works with Health Education England to align policy and practice on artificial intelligence for radiography. The policy statement on artificial intelligence by the Society and College of Radiographers is summarized in this document, which was published in January 2020. And the core principles have two broad objectives that mirror the mission of the Society and College of Radiographers: to influence and direct improvements which can be made by implementing new technology in healthcare locally, nationally, and internationally, and to promote safe and ethical practice that will enable better patient and service user outcomes. Radiography needs to create its own evidence base on the following topics, and this includes clinical examples of AI applications, allowing for great diversity and variability through the profession and the different modalities, the ethics of AI and accountability in the case of mistakes, the validation of AI tools at a clinical level, understanding the impact on workflows, backlogs, waiting times, and staff shortages, ensuring patient-centered care and precision medicine applicable for all patients, and ensuring the integration of emotional intelligence in curricula alongside artificial intelligence for collective intelligence, as well as promoting AI innovation and co-construction with patients and carers for better patient outcomes, faster treatments, and targeted treatments. The Topol Review has outlined how we can prepare the healthcare workforce to deliver the digital future. Among that, it spoke about our imperative obligation as educators to ensure the digital literacy among the health and social care workforce. As part of that, there have been many different initiatives by radiographers for AI at a European level, many of those of educational nature, So, for instance, there have been informal or more formal training starting to happen now at many undergraduate degrees in radiography universities across Europe. For instance, in the University of Exeter, where they embed AI in the undergraduate curriculum, or the University of Groningen in the Netherlands, where they also have embedded AI as one of the streams in their undergraduate degree. And many other HEIs are trying now to start integrating AI as an integral part of their curriculum. There's also the first AI postgraduate course for radiographers at City University of London, which has started this year. And we hope to see many other universities in Europe, but beyond, to start to try and create postgraduate provisions for AI for radiographers across the world. We also already collaborate with many people in other countries to try and ensure this dissemination of best practice. More research projects happen at undergraduate, master's and PhD level, led by radiographers and completed by radiographers on artificial intelligence with a radiography perspective, and offering this much needed evidence-based to progress the profession into the new era where artificial intelligence will have a central role. And also organizing different events and raising awareness, encouraging discussions at national and international level. For instance, we held the Radiography 2020 AI dedicated event at City University of London, and many other similar themed events across different European countries are happening as we speak. In conclusion, academia, through education and research, will have to become the agent of change for a future with AI. There need to be strong clinical academic and industry academic partnerships that support this, because the clinical practice is the practice that has the questions that we need to answer through research and education. We have more strength when we work together, therefore cross-discipline collaborations and cross-university collaborations, cross-country collaborations are essential. The professional bodies will be central in these initiatives, as they have already been, to coordinate and organize and bring people together for the same reason, with the same aim. Everything should happen with the patients in mind, therefore ethics, validation, dissemination of best practice, collaboration is vital, because it will have to serve the patients first before it serves us. Finally, I would like to share the slide by the Society and College of Radiographers, speaking about collective intelligence organized to bring together artificial intelligence, emotional intelligence, co-created with practitioners, patients, and the public, and where industries, patients, the public, practitioners, educational institutes, clinical research centers, and professional bodies will work together for a better future in medical imaging and radiography. Here's some further references provided by the Society and College of Radiographers website. And I would like to thank you all for your attention and wish you a very happy World Radiography Day. For any queries, you can also email us or ask questions at this session. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. That's the great presentation you have, Dr. Malametaniel. We'll come back to you for the Q&A session. And for the audience, if you have any question, please do so. I will collect the question and then distribute the question to all the speakers later during the Q&A session. But before we go to that session, we also have another guest panelist, Håkon Jamli, from Norway. He's the ISRT Vice President for Europe Africa. Håkon will be here to present the ISRT work on the position statement on AI. Please welcome Håkon Jamli.
Hello, everyone, and congratulations on the World Radiography Day 2020. Now, I'm asked to tell you a little bit about the work that the ISRT have been doing together with the EFRS on a joint position statement on artificial intelligence and the radiographer radiological technologists profession. This work started as an idea back early in 2019. We discussed this within the ISRT board, and we approached the EFRS and suggested to do this as a joint project, and they were very positive to the idea. So the two organizations developed objectives and timeline for the joint project, and the structure of a working group was decided. And we also decided on the aim of the joint position statement and the work. And this should serve as a guidance document for national societies, healthcare providers, education providers, regulators, and individuals, and more specific, to undertake a comprehensive review of the literature and the published evidence related to artificial intelligence and radiographers, and to produce a joint statement to provide radiographers with guidance on key aspects of AI and our profession, to allow radiographers to embrace opportunities, address challenges, and the continuing importance of our professional roles. The working group was put together by 4 people from each organization, led by Nicholas Bochinsta from the EFRS side and myself from the ISRT side. And together with us, we had Sundran Karan from Norway, John Stowe from Ireland, Marianne Hardy from UK, all 3 from the EFRS, and Yuthapon Vichianin from Thailand, Naoki Kodama from Japan, and Lars Henriksen from Sweden from the ISRT side. And of course, both the organizations were supported by our presidents, Jonathan McNulty from the EFRS and Donna Newman from the ISRT. The timeline was quite ambitious, and when we made this, we didn't know that there was a pandemic coming over us soon, but we started in 2019. We thought we would do a literature search and write an article based on this to begin with, but we changed our mind and we focused on a joint statement to be done first. And this was ready in May this year and published in Radiography. Then we decided to work later on another approach for a more detailed article to be published, but I will come back to this later. You will find this statement on our website at isrt.org, and this is the front page of the position statement. I will not go into detail, but I will show you an overview of it. It's in total 5 pages, including the front page and the references. And you will see that we have divided it into 2 sections. And the first one, after an introductory part, is focusing on the use of artificial intelligence in radiography. And the second part focuses on radiographers and radiological technologists' role in optimizing the use of artificial intelligence. Then you will see conclusion and acknowledgements and a long list of references. I will not go into detail of the content of this position statement. You will have to read it yourself, but I will highlight the conclusion that says it's of critical importance that radiographers and radiological technologists, as medical imaging and radiotherapy experts, must play an active role in the planning, development, implementation, use, and validation of AI applications in medical imaging and radiation therapy, reinforcing the need for the technology to be targeted to the most pressing clinical problems. The optimal integration of AI into medical safety, clinical imaging, and radiation therapy can only be achieved through appropriate education of the current and future workforce, and the active engagement of radiographers and radiological technologists in AI advancements going forward. Now, the work is not finished. We are now working on a study with a Delphi approach to gather more data so that we can issue an article with recommendations on key competences and priorities for diagnostic radiographers required to deliver safe and effective care in medical imaging, and to develop a framework for use of AI in medical imaging. And I'm sure many of you have seen our special edition for this year's World Radiography Day. And in this, there's a large number of articles focusing on radiographers' role with artificial intelligence, which is very good. And it also tells me that our position statement has actually already served much of its purpose, highlighting the importance for radiographers to be involved in AI. And we are also referenced, that is, the position statement is referenced in many of those articles in our special edition. So have a look at it. You will find it on our web page if you haven't already read it. Thank you.
Thank you, Hakan, for presenting our work in regards with the AI position statement. And now it's time for the Q&A session. Actually, we got some questions from the audience, and I have one question that people ask at least twice. It's about the educators from around the world. Do we really incorporate artificial intelligence in the curriculum? And also one more question from Dennis asking about undergrad level. Is the artificial intelligence learning being implemented, and how radical the curriculum changing with the advancement in AI in radiology? First, I would like to ask Ryan about this. Do we really have the AI incorporate with our education in radiography in your part of the world, Ryan?
Thank you for the question. So in South Africa at the moment, we don't have any formal learning outcomes or incorporations in the curriculum, but we are starting on a more informal basis to sensitize students to AI and the implications that it could have, and then continuously building on incorporating it into a more formal stance in our curriculum. So for example, you would ask students to read up and have more discussion classes, or let them write short essays on it, but there's no module specifically yet.
All right. Next, I would like to ask Professor Kodama about the situation in Japan.
Okay, and Japan has not taken any action against the AI yet. So I think AI will be introduced more and more for the practice of radiological technology by properly using the AI. I think that reduce the time or solve a manual and repeatable the task, and radiological technologies can spend more time on patients. So AI cannot be held responsible, so the radiological technologies will need to take the responsibility for the patients. Japanese patients are very uneasiness about the radiation exposure. Japanese radiological technologies spend many time consulting with patients about their medical exposure. By using AI, we may be able to secure this time. To do so, we need sufficient training and the knowledge of AI. In the future, I think the education and the training to use the AI correctly will be necessary. Maybe we need a training facility or a training university. Thank you.
Very interesting. And Christina, what about in UK or in the part of the world that you are?
Thanks very much, Napapong. So for this question, there are some initiatives already in Europe and the UK about AI. The majority of the initiatives are informal sensitization, like Ryan said, of the students into the AI principles. However, there are two places where I know of that there is much more formalized training. So in the undergraduate curriculum for radiography, I know that in a university in the Netherlands, in the University of Groningen, there is some really amazing work happening about having one stream of their training purely on AI at different years, year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4. It's quite formalized, and they took advantage of their very clear structure because they had already a stream about IT and RIS and PACS. So they used that to introduce AI. And of course, in the university where I work, and I'm the director of the postgraduate and doctorate program in radiography at City University of London, we have already started a formal artificial intelligence postgraduate routes. And we have currently people from more than 10 countries in the world registered. It's actually currently running. And we are discussing about things like terminology in AI, algorithms, ethics, patient acceptability, and different examples from experts in the field, clinical and research, on AI in radiography. So we have taken a much more formalized approach in terms of postgraduates. At the same time, I know that many universities in the UK and Europe, we have started to have masters, PhD, and undergraduate dissertation projects with a topic on AI, offering the perspective of the radiographers in artificial intelligence. So I think we are not there yet in terms of education, but some really important steps have already happened. And I only hope that this will multiply and will continue to materialize in the future.
Very, very interesting to hear that. Hakan, what about your part of the world?
Well, I'm not working in the education field myself, but I have good contact with our universities, and I think that we are a bit behind in our curriculums preparing for what's going on right now. I'm amazed to hear how things are being done in other parts of the world, and I hope that we can follow what's being done in Japan and also in the UK, in the Nordic region. What's the situation for rest of Europe? I really don't know. We haven't surveyed this very much, but I'm sure there are some ongoing work on that, and maybe we know next time we have such a session as this.
All right, thank you, Hakan. Since we have Dr. Yuttapon Vichian in our ISRT Director of Education here, don't be so surprised. This question is very suitable for you. What's your view on this and your experience on the AI education? All right. Thank you, Yuttapon. And let's move to the next question. And I think this is very important issue also because AI has been around for quite some time. And I see from what Christina and Kodama presented about the research activities in the field of AI. The question is, what is the priority of AI research in radiography in your view? All right, let's start with Ryan again. What's your view on this, the AI and research?
I think we're a little bit late already. We should have started quite a few years ago, but to catch up, I think there's still time, but we will have to focus more on validating proper algorithms first so that we have the tools to implement it, and then start developing guidelines and standard operating procedures on the ethics and how we can ensure best patient outcomes in terms of privacy and security and patient acceptability. That's what I would think would be the starting point.
Oh, very, very good. Thanks, Ryan. And next we move to Naoki Kodama. What's your view on this, on AI research? What's going on here?
Yeah, now the many papers has been published. In particular, there is much about the reducing the exposure dose of patients. So now is current AI is a black box and unable to explain the process. Radiological technologies that can make up for this shortcoming, and explainable AI research and is including medical AI need combining the explanation for the patients. We can make good use of AI to take on more responsible tasks for our patients. In addition, so in order to operate AI is hospital, previous knowledge is required. And AI is closer to radiological technologies than other healthcare professionals. Therefore, I think radiological technologies will be very advantage. And I think AI should be introduced into university education in the future. We need to understand the benefits and the risk of AI and improve our ability to explain to patients is very important.
All right, thank you, Professor Kodama. And Christina, I know that you're involved with this a lot, and what's your view on this again?
Thank you very much, Napapon. Yes, I'm highly involved in AI research, both from the educational perspective, so how we make sense of it, how we understand it as radiographers, what are the challenges, what are the opportunities, but also from a technical perspective by validating tools of AI for different radiographic and radiological cases and clinical questions. I do believe, though, that what needs to come first in terms of research in AI is how do we validate AI? Now with COVID-19, there have been so many different AI tools to help with the diagnosis of COVID-19 on CT lungs and chest X-rays. However, many of those tools have been unvalidated. So I think our role in the validation of these tools, the clinical validation would be vital, and this would be an area of research. At the same time, I feel it's important for us to understand as a profession what AI means for us, what are the current applications of AI in radiography in great detail. And I am sure that there will be great diversity across the different disciplines in MRI and CT, in chest X-rays, in mammography, as well as there will be great diversity of this uptake of AI across the different countries. That's why, with the permission and encouragement of Donna Newman and the ISRT CEO, Dimitris Katsifarakis, as well as the whole ISRT board, and we are very grateful for that, we are currently running a survey, a worldwide survey about the AI needs, educational needs, but also practice needs that has started last month. And I sincerely hope many of the participants today will contribute to that survey. I don't know if it will be feasible to post that survey in the discussion, in the chat online on Facebook for people to complete it today, or whether this is something the SRT will continue to advertise. But I'm very grateful for that. And I think we can learn many things from the different countries. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And I think next question going to be very interesting too. It's from Mr. Kim Mountain. This is not research question, it's clinical practice. So the question will go around for everyone. All right, Mr. Kim Mountain, he's the president of the Myanmar Society. The question is how AI involved in patient dose reduction, and shall we need to change the professional ethics by using artificial intelligence? What's your view on that? Let's start from Ryan.
To my knowledge, there's a few algorithms busy being developed in terms of different dose reduction protocols, in terms of patient type, and then related to modalities. I think we would have to inform our patients on the partnership that AI has with us in our new working. And we would then continuously have to develop from there. That, in terms of my presentation, where I said we have to have some audits continuously to improve these protocols so that we know that it always operates at an accurate level. I think that's where it will influence in clinical practice.
All right, very interesting point, because when the new thing comes to us, we have to deal with it like nicely, wisely, right? And next one, I think I would ask Professor Kodama about this, because like you also mentioned about dose reduction, and a Japanese patient really concerned about the radiation dose. And the point is that, shall we need to change professional ethics by using this artificial intelligence in terms of radiation dose reduction?
Very difficult question. So, Japanese radiological technologists also use some medical AI. However, many radiological technologists do not trust AI. This is the same as the ASRT AI survey, the same results. Therefore, I think it is necessary to understand AI correctly. And I think that there is no need to have excessive expectation and uneasiness for the AI. Radiological technologies will make the final decision, and it will not change, I think.
Very good answer. I like your answer. What about you, Christina? What's your view on this in terms of clinical practice when AI comes to play the role with like the judgment, the decision making on patient dose?
Absolutely, because radiation protection and the lack of accurate guidelines for that can yield a clear radiation risk for a patient. I think what would be vital in this respect is twofold. First of all, to ensure stringent validation protocols for these AI algorithms, because any mistake can unnecessarily increase the dose to a patient, potentially from an unvalidated algorithm. And secondly, as well as with all AI tools in Apapong, I think it's really important that radiographers are not just coming at the validation point after the technology has been created, but they co-create with manufacturers. As the Artificial Intelligence Working Group in the Society and College of Radiologists, as chair of that group, my role is to mainly bring together manufacturers and radiographers so we can increase our visibility as a technologically enabled profession to the manufacturers, so they know what we do and we can work together to improve the diagnosis and therapy for the patients.
Oh, that's a very good answer. And this would answer the question posed by Dennis Chitoro also, because Dennis asked about this, because AI is pretty much in-house training, and he understands that most vendor in the implementation process, they rely on like their in-house in the factory. So what he asked was about like, what's about the role of radiographers to really put input? And I think you answered this nicely. And back to Hagen, what's your view on this?
My view on this is that we cannot let new technology in general, nor for AI, to lower our professional standards or ethical standards. Because if we do that, if we just lay back and trust it and don't have this expert role in it as we normally have, we will be obsolete. We will be replaced by less educated people in a few years, and of course we don't want that, and I'm sure the patients don't want that either, because there will always be a need for someone to be the interface between technology and the patients. And if things are going to happen even faster than they do now, somebody really has to have skills in taking care of the patients, and also you need to have someone to supervise that this AI is functioning correctly, because they do some stupid mistakes, and they do some mistakes that may not be so easy to discover. But if you have your radiography skills in order, and you also have skills in diagnostics, you can supervise it and you can be the sense check of it. So that would be my main view on that. Thanks.
That's a great answer. I like your answer a lot. And since Donna Newman is with us today, and Donna practices in nuclear medicine, so what's the view on this in nuclear medicine practice?
Yeah, I believe that we have been really had AI in nuclear medicine for probably the last 20 years with automatic processing and automatic setup on things. But I do believe that to have useful AI incorporation, we need to have radiographers involved in the development of it so that it can be put right into practice for radiographers that are practicing in the world. I think it's important that we stay on top of it and that we can incorporate it into our ethics as well. So we're sure that we're doing what's best for the patient, that we center on the patient and that we have patient-centered medicine. So I do think for radiographers and all the advanced technologies that they're happy to have it, but would like to have involvement in the beginning of it so it's incorporated in the right way and that we don't lag behind. And so I'm looking forward to seeing research. I'm looking forward to seeing development. And I'm looking forward to seeing how radiographers push for a patient-centered medicine and all the modalities.
Thank you so much, Donna. And I think we have time for one more question, which is very, very important in our practice, and not to keep Professor Kodama stay awake past his midnight time in Japan. The question from the audience is very important for our practice. This is radiographers or technologists' relationship with the patient. What can we do to keep our technologists or radiographers' patient relationship in times that we have to deal with the incorporation of AI in our practice? So what's your view on this, Ryan? Are you still with us, Ryan? Yeah, it's patient-radiographer relationship.
So for me personally, I think that our relationships with our patients will increase compared to what we are used to currently, because there's many times where our patient interactions are overshadowed by us focusing on the technology and getting that in order before we really care and take care of our patients. So I think with AI taking over some tedious or monotonous task on our behalf, we could have great interactions with our patients where we have to then integrate them into this new workflow as well as partners, where all of us, technologist or radiographer, patient, work as a collaborative team so that we can then address the patient's needs to the best that we can with what we have.
Wow, very great answer. And I think the audience around who watch us now or from the reline of the video would love your answer so much. And what about your view on this, Dr. Kodama?
Yes, by using AI, I think it is an opportunity to take on a new role as a radiological technologist. Patients feel uneasy about leaving everything to AI. The relationship between patients and the medical staffs is still necessary, so maybe this relationship does not change. It is important for radiological technologists to be the knowledge enough to explain the benefit and the risk of AI to patients. So that way, the radiological technologists will be trusted and will be needed more by the patients.
Yeah, I think so too, Kodama. Thank you so much. And Christina, is now your turn.
Thank you, Nakapong. I could not agree more with the previous two speakers. What I would like to add is that AI is not in competition to the time we dedicate to the patients. It's quite the opposite. And that's why in our postgraduate curriculum, alongside the artificial intelligence basics program we have created in collaboration with our computer science departments at City University of London, we have also created a new module side by side, which is about patient-centered care in medical imaging and radiography. That's why it's so essential for collective intelligence, artificial intelligence, and emotional intelligence to come hand in hand. This has always been the pillars of our profession: patient care, patient safety, and image quality, and this will not change in the future. What will change is the technical aspects that we will have to adjust to because of artificial intelligence.
Yeah, that's a great answer again, and I believe the audience agree with you. And because a patient-radiographer relationship is the most important in our practice, in my opinion. And what's about your view, Hakan, in this regards?
Well, I came to think about a presentation I watched. I believe it was from the ISRT Meets Canada at the ECR online congress, where one presenter, which I cannot remember his name, said that fast is not better. And he had a very good point in that, because as radiographers, we have to make sure that we don't compromise too much, so that we just work faster and faster, and at some point we lose control of the quality that we are delivering. So I encourage you to have a look at that recorded presentation. He had many good points, and I'm sorry I don't remember his name just now, but you will find it recorded.
All right. Thank you. And Donna, what's your view on this? This is a very important issue.
Thank you, Napa. I think as an international organization representing our radiographers around the world, we have to continue to focus on this. We have to continue to work together on this. I think we are just at the tip of the iceberg. We're beginning to hear this, and we have to make this forefront of our everyday practice. I think we have to find ways as radiographers to use this in a practical manner for our patients and enhance our practice. So I think as your international organization, we're excited. We thank these speakers that have done this work for us and has presented to you just a snapshot of it. But I think we as professional organizations need to continue to work together to bring this to the forefront and not worry about AI, but find the benefit of it and incorporate it so it enhances our patient care for our patients.
Oh, that's great, Donna. And I think now it's time for the final word. What do you think about AI and the future of radiographers and radiation therapists? We have not talked about radiation therapists at all today because we don't have the speaker, but it's okay. We're going to have that session in the future for our colleague in radiation oncology. Ryan, final word on AI and radiography.
I think for us as radiographers, if you like to stay relevant in and taking control of our own profession as autonomous healthcare professionals, we should remain to be at the forefront of these developments and not come in at the end when it is implementation time, but that we do take control and be part of the construction and development of these algorithms and procedures so that we stay in charge of our profession and not dying out at the end, which is a fear among many radiographers, radiotherapists, even radiologists. So yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. And now it's your turn, Kodama. Yes. AI and future of radiography.
Okay. And the biggest advantage of AI is that it can process and learn huge amounts of data in a short period of time. Therefore, I think AI will help streamline our work. As a result, doctor and radiological technologists will have more time to interact with patients. So this is a big advantage. By using the past imaging data, it is possible to provide medical care suitable for each patient. So if the radiological technologist judgment and AI judgment are different, there is no standard for how to resolve it. Maybe the radiological technologist judgment will be the final decision. In this research is very important. Maybe I hope the clearly criteria may be the needed. Thank you so much, and happy World Radiography Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Kodama. And now it's your turn, Dr. Christina Metametenial. Sorry if I pronounced your family name maybe deviated a little bit.
Thank you very much, Napapong. What I would like to say to all those who now listen and to those who might watch later on is that AI is not something in the future. AI is already here in radiography. Mm-hmm. And AI will not make us lose our jobs or become redundant. We have to embrace AI. We have to learn about it. We have to research about AI. We have to lead AI education, research, and practice. Therefore, it will enhance our future as a profession, and it will further enhance the diagnosis and treatment of the patients we work with. So it's not something to be feared of, but it's also not something in the future. It's something that happens now, here and now, and we have to make changes in our education and our evidence base through research now, before we become redundant because of these, of ignorance of the AI techniques, of the AI impacts in radiography. I would like to thank you very much, all of you, Napapong, Donna, Dimitris, and everyone in the ISRD board for giving me the opportunity to speak today, and wish everyone of the audience a very happy World Radiography Day 2020. And hopefully next year, we can be discussing about more achievements of the radiography community in the field of AI.
Thank you so much, Christina. We are so happy to have you here, and thanks for your work for the ISRT. And now we move to Hakan. What's your final word on this for tonight? Not for the final.
The famous last words. Well, thank you. Well, to follow up on what's already been said, I would say that although there is a lot of very promising AI algorithms in use in our field, they're all very narrow still. There is no system yet, and there may never come one either that has the general intelligence and consciousness as humans have. So we have to make sure that we position ourselves so that we are the interface between technology and the patients for the future. And I hope that the work that the ISRT have done and the work that we have done together with the EFRS can be an eye-opener for our profession, so that many others can publish position statements like I heard Sorsa is working on, and that we can all disseminate each other's work, so that we reach out to all the educators and all the radiographers in the world.
Thank you, Hakan. And let's close the program with our president, Donna Newman.
Well, I want to, first of all, tell everybody, I hope that you have a wonderful day continuing your celebration for World Radiography Day. I think we got a snapshot from these key experts around the world talking about AI affecting radiographers. And I think we had the benefit of learning from the radiologist implementation of AI. So I think our future is bright with AI in our field in relation to the radiographer's practice. And I want you to know, as your ISRT president, representing the global voice for radiography, we will continue to collaborate with different organizations around the world to bring this in the forefront and to find opportunities to not only survey and produce documents that benefit, but also to bring forward education to our members around the world that don't have it at their fingertips. And I think our members of the ISRT that are on the working group, and I look forward to more projects. I thank Christina for helping with doing a survey, and I look forward to more projects coming in the future. So you have a great morning, evening, or night, and happy World Radiography Day to all our radiographers around the world.
Thank you, Donna. And here comes the time to close the program. And thanks again for all the speakers, the commentator, and all the audience from around the world. And we wish you a very, very happy World Radiography Day. Until we meet next time, have a nice day.